lap 10 and 6th right continued over 10.
Welcome to a special stage and welcome to a warm but blustery Cadwell Park for round 2 of the Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship. With just 1 week to get the cars prepared after the first round at Alton Park. Expect some flustered faces and some new faces here this weekend as this brand new exciting championship finds its feet. Let's join all the action right now on those stages. On to the first couple of stages then, and it will be a perfect start for David and Alice Tin, leading the way but with just 3 seconds of an advantage. David, you happy after those two?
Yeah, all going well. Got a little bit second slower on the second one, but yeah, we were leading after one. Job's under control. Car's going at the moment, so we'll see how we go, mate.
Quite up close to the spectators out there. It's quite exciting.
Yeah, it's good. Cadwell's a lovely place to come. Spent many a happy hour here.
Johnny Milner makes a return to the special stages with Duncan McMath alongside. A little rusty from being away, but getting back into it quickly. Second place for now and throwing that famous car around on the stages. Johnny, fantastic to see you out here. You're fighting 3 wheels through there.
Yeah, oh, 3 wheels on it. No. Yeah, it's good to be back. It just takes a little bit of getting back in the groove, but there's some very good cars here, some very good drivers. So no disrespect to the boys at all, but we're starting to gel now.
It's all right. They don't come much more legendary than this car.
Brilliant, yeah. No, Duncan's come all the way from Shanghai. This is a man that paid for the original British Championship car, so he's come from Shanghai just to do this. So yeah, he's doing a really good job.
Fantastic story. Great to see you out.
Thank you.
Ashley Field and Ryan Vickers make a better start than last time out. Third place at this early stage, and with the stages still slippery, it was going to be tricky to find the right pace. 8 seconds behind Milner and leading Class 5. Ideal conditions for you?
Not exactly. We're hoping some dry weather after last week. But anyway, it is what it is, isn't it? So we have a go. So
going well though.
Hey?
You're going well.
Yeah, we're going well. We had a better first stage than we did last week, so we'll just see how much grip there is. Quite a bit of grip, so it's not too bad.
Stay in the fight. Just behind Field on the times overall, and indeed in the class with Stephen and Jack Tilburn enjoying themselves out there and lying second place in Class 5, 4th place on the leaderboard. Happy with those two?
Fantastic, yeah, really good.
Graham Bell and Russ Radford would have a lot of competition on their hands if they wanted to finish with that number 1 spot again this year. Things going okay for the pair as they lie in 5th overall, 3rd in Class 5. Well, it started quickly, but the rain's here.
I know, yeah. Well, we stopped off to do a bit of shopping on that run, so I lost a bit of time. I went to Tesco's, so, but can't complain.
Some big competition here this weekend. What are you hoping for?
Don't think it's as competitive as last weekend at Alton Park, but obviously there's some quick escorts here again. So, but yeah.
Not to mention a quick Corolla.
Very quick Corolla, yeah. It'll give Mr. Tin something to think about, won't it?
Alan Oldfield and Stephen McNulty bring the Darien out for round 2, with the Protons sidelined last week, but thankfully, despite the stages not being dry, it was still a good start. They lie in 6th place for now.
A lot better in this car, I think, than Proton. We're getting to grips with it, but we haven't driven it for a long time, so we'll see how it goes. Getting a bit used to tyres now as well. So I don't know where we're at though.
And Craig Pennington and Wayne Priest join us for round 2. The advantage of 4-wheel drive in the slippery conditions would be welcomed. They end the first 2 stages with 7th place overall and 3rd in Class 6. It looks like 4-wheel drive might have the advantage after all.
Definitely. It's still very slippy though. Very slippy, but it's good fun.
And for Johnny Ellis and Josh Clark, it will be 4th in the class behind Pennington, although there was a suspected clutch issue they would have to look at in service. 2 down, happy?
Reasonably, I think we've got a clutch problem. Didn't get a very good start that time, and we had a spin because of it. So we need to have a look at that.
Cheers.
All right, cheers, thank you.
It was a good start for Nigel Mummery and Fiona Scarrett, 5th place in the class and lying just inside our top 10 with 9th overall. One of a few hoping for some rain as the day goes on to make the most of that focus. You'll need that grunt we keep talking about today.
Yeah, I do need a bit more grunt. I should have brought the pigs with me today.
Happy?
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah. I just want a bit of rain in the afternoon.
And rounding out our top 10 are James Sharrock and Stuart Folds, one of the many to get caught out on the wrong tyres when the rain started on the way to the stages. They lie in 10th overall, 5th in Class 5 at this stage of the rally. James, the pace is good out there.
Yeah, wrong tyres this morning. We banked on it being dry, and as always, you know, as soon as we get up to the stage control, it starts open, everyone's open, it starts raining. So we've set ourselves a bit of a task this morning, but no, different tyres and yeah, solid pace there. So let's see where we're after.
In a few of the classes outside the top 10, it would be the Class 4 lead for Stuart Gilks and Michael Boynes. A welcome start considering the work gone into getting here after the DNF last weekend. For Martin Hodgson and Tony Jones, it will be 2nd in that class. 4 seconds behind Gilks, the choice of slicks. Maybe not the best of ways to gain any time on the opening stage though. And it will be closer still for Mike English and Andy Robinson as they end stage 2 with 3rd place in Class 4 and just a single second behind Hodgson. No problems at all for Alistair Hutchinson and John Dykes. 4th in the class, just 4 seconds behind English. Everything going well at this stage and ready for a big push in the next loop. And for Dave Roberts and Dave Owen, it will be 5th in the class, just a second back from Hutchinson, and meaning only 12 seconds separating the top 5 in the class at this stage. Darren and Sue Underwood bring the Nova back out to the stages after a season in the Escort, and it will be a good start as well, leading the way in Class 3, but they wouldn't be happy with catching cars on the stages. A great start too for Joe Cunningham and Mark Fowler. Their only complaint would be the lack of top end along the fast straights here at Cadwell, but clearly they couldn't do any more, leading Class 2 and in 22nd on the overall leaderboard. Don Booth and Carl Swales meanwhile decide to be cautious, going out on full wet tyres in this loop. Sadly, caution didn't mean anything, they went off. At least there was no damage done, and they end the loop with 2nd in Class 3. Paul Sheard and Dan Simcock were not having the best of starts to the rally, but they felt things could only improve. There wasn't anything drastically wrong, they just lie in 3rd place in Class 3 for now, 7 seconds behind Booth. With Joe Cunningham off in the lead of Class 2 once again, it will be Ken Sturdy and Richard Wood taking up 2nd and fighting as well. The home event and local motor club for the pair, so they will be keen to challenge for that class victory. Justin Lawson and Paul Hargreaves make an appearance in the championship. Regulars on our BTRDA Gravel Series coverage, this unusual outing for the pair was going well to start with. 3rd place in the class, just a single second behind Sturdy. Tim Gray and Wayne Ward were getting quicker over the 2nd pass of the stage. The pair taking time off their first run through and lying in 4th place in Class 3. Alan Kitson and Ronald Aspinall bring the imp out for another run in the championship this weekend. 25 seconds back from the podium in Class 2 and 42nd place overall. It was a good start to the rally for Roy Jarvis and Adam Milner. 5th place in Class 3 and not bad at all considering Roy hadn't done a rally in 15 years. And for Tim Cross and Samantha Lester, it will be 5th place in Class 2 at this stage, 47 seconds behind Kitson in the imp. Just the 2 cars entered in Class 1 this weekend, and it will be the lead in that class for Chris Pearson and Paul Greiben, taking an advantage of 25 seconds now. And in that 2nd place in the class were Robert Kennedy and Katie Bates, just behind on the overall results too in 63rd. As well as the senior event here at Cadwell, the Junior Championship will be visiting this track for the first time, and it will be Zach Hughes and Chris Evans taking the early lead by 5 seconds. would be Tom Delaney and Joe Crittenden in second. A good start, but it was close. They had 5 seconds to the lead, but they had to watch behind them, because they'd be under pressure from these men, Will Butler and Tom Wood. Third place for now, but only a single second back from Delaney at this stage. And there'd be a further 12 seconds back to Tom Williams and Rob Gillam. Fourth place for now in the micro. And for our newly crowned junior champions Charlie Barlow and Tom Hutchings, it will be 5th place, 2 seconds behind Williams and increasing the pace over these 2 stages. So at the end of stage 2, it's David and Alice Tinn leading the way, with a whole host of others looking to change that as the stages go on. Now, one of the benefits for our tyre sponsor Michelin, at least, of having this championship over the winter season, Tim, is that tyres are the talk of the day for most of these rallies. And today, again, has been changeable through the day. So the tyre choice has been discussed at great length by our competitors. What should they have been doing?
Well, first thing this morning was definitely wets.
So that's these here?
Yep, definitely wets this morning. But as the day has dried, it's moving more towards the slick now, which is this man here.
And the technology that are going into these tyres used by the clubmen here at Cadwell Park and last weekend at Alton Park on this Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship is coming directly from the top flight, isn't it?
Yes, that's the cars are running this weekend in Wales, and they'll be running on a tyre that looks very similar to this. A very different product, but it will look very similar.
What's
to
different about the ones that they're using in the WRC?
I don't know.
It's a secret.
It is a secret.
Okay, so talk to us about, as it gets colder throughout the afternoon, there's different compounds that they need to be looking at, and some of the teams that don't have the budget are perhaps hedging their bets, aren't they, on a harder compound?
Well, that's where the Clubman tyre differs from the top level tyre. This one is made to work in a range of temperatures, so you shouldn't need to change around too much on a day like today. Temperature this morning was 14 degrees, it's only 15 now, so even though it did feel a lot colder this morning, there was more of a wind, the temperatures remained fairly stable all day.
Looking ahead to perhaps the Jack Frost stages at Croft, it has been known to be snowy or at very least icy at that track. So what are they going to be looking at doing when it gets to that round, if we do have those inclement weather conditions?
Yeah, well, we have a super soft version of the same tyre. Michelin are familiar with working in snow and ice. I mean, the first rally every year is Monte Carlo. Of course. So they're ready for the snow and ice. So we have the compounds for that as well.
Of course, we can't use spikes on the tracks over here like they can on the Monte Carlo, but they can use some of the technology that comes down from that.
Yes, and they have the compounds that will work at those temperatures.
And of course, competitors are going to need to be gearing up for that, aren't they? And it's useful having Michelin as a sponsor because you're always on hand to speak to the competitors through the season, and we're going to be catching up with you as well as things change.
Very good, very good. And the thing that is another benefit for the competitors is we have the tyres here as conditions change, so they don't need to tie money up in keeping tyres in their vans. They can just use them as they need them.
Thanks for talking to us, Tim. We'll catch you at future rounds.
You're welcome. Thank you.
What a fight we've got unfolding here at round 2 of the Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship. Johnny Milner chasing hard, but at the moment it's David Tinn in that Proton leading the way. The next loop is upon us. Let's join the action on the stages. On to the next couple of stages, and there will be no problems for David and Alice Tinn. They keep ahead and extend the lead to 10 seconds now, but they knew that one small mistake and that could all be gone. You're doing what you need to at the moment.
Yeah, we're doing what we need to. We're keeping it in front. I think we've been quickest on the first 3. So, yeah, it's all tight, though. No mistakes. Can't half a spin and it'll be gone.
Johnny's hungry for that lead.
Oh, Johnny's pushing. Johnny's pushing.
No change then for Johnny Milner and Duncan McMath, remaining in second overall. Starting to get to grips with things a little more now and enjoying building the pace as the stages started to dry out. Johnny, you're giving us quite a fight out there.
I'm loving it. I'm loving every corner, every gear change. It's really starting to gel. I'm I'm hoping. I'm trying to get back to him now, but you never know.
Davey's watching his mirrors now.
It's a lot quicker on the fast stuff now. Now it's just dried out a little bit more. So yeah, watch out.
Ashley Field and Ryan Vickers were still attacking with a little caution, knowing that the dry line was there, but it could all go wrong if they strayed off it. Third place for now, 10 seconds back from Milner, but leading the way in Class 5 still.
The pace is just getting hotter and hotter out there. What can you do with these guys?
I don't know. We had a better stage that stage, so there is a bit of a dry line. So it's just judging the braking distances, because if you get it wrong, it's just a whole load of tyres or Armco. So it's just judging those braking distances. I think we'll concentrate on that next time.
It would still be a good run for Stephen and Jack Tilburn, continuing to lie second in Class 5, fourth overall. The conditions getting much better for a push through these stages.
These conditions are ideal for a push, aren't they?
Perfect, yeah, we're really pushing on now. Tyres are good, everything's going well with the car, so we're on it.
It looks like it. Good luck.
Thank you.
And there'd be some good pace being set by Graham Bell and Russ Radford, losing no time at all to Tilburn, ending this stage with 5th overall still and 3rd in Class 5, but equaling the times wasn't going to move them up the results.
You've got a lot of work to do out there, Graham.
A lot of work, yeah. We've still got some quick escorts, but they're behind us, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So, but just got to keep on it. Just keep on it.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
James Sharrock and Stuart Folds were increasing the pace though, climbing up the results from 10th into 6th. And with the class lead firmly within their sights, with half the rally to go, anything could still be possible.
We've got some great battles developing out there now.
Oh yeah, it's tyres is proving critical. But no, that was another good one there. So yeah, trying to pull Ashley in. He's down and he's quick today.
Tyres and dry lines.
Yeah, definitely. So it's getting there. But looks like a good afternoon coming.
Sadly for Alan Oldfield and Stephen McNulty, that move meant a drop to 7th place for them. Not a bad end to the loop though, and with the tyre choice not really ideal, there would still be more to give in the next stages.
Is it all dry lines and braking distances for you as well?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. We were 10 seconds quicker on that stage than what we was one before, and I thought the stage before we were going really well, but can't tell, can you?
It's drying up out there.
Drying up, definitely. Change your tyres this time.
Tyres will be the talk of many of the crews once again this weekend, and for Craig Pennington and Wayne Priest, it would be a tricky decision. A mix of good and poor grip was meaning they would have to decide between playing it safe or going for the risky option.
You're getting in the fight?
Yeah, we're getting in the mix of it now, having a bit of fun. I think we were 7th last time we looked, so keep trying.
Eyes on 6th?
Eyes on top 5.
Like that, good luck.
Just tyres, don't know what to do with the tyres yet.
That's the talk of everyone. Dry lines, tyres, weather.
It's very, very grippy, and it's very, very slippy. What do you do?
What do you do?
Exactly.
Martin Hodgson and Tony Jones put in some good times now that they had some grip to play with. They move up inside our top 10 with 9th place now, leading the way in Class 4.
Martin, you're pushing?
Yes, we're pushing very hard. Now it's drying up, we're getting some grip, we're starting to get a bit quicker. We'll get there.
That's the plan, quicker?
Quicker and faster, and
excellent.
Let's do it.
And Mike Bayliss and Peter Dawson also move up the results and into 10th place overall, as the BMW pair finish this loop just a few seconds behind Hodgson.
You're getting your bearings now?
That's east, and that's west. So I'm going east, I'm not going west.
As long as you're going east in a pretty fast fashion, that's good.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah. No, it's great. I love Cadwell. It's my favourite circuit.
Good stuff.
Brilliant.
In the classes outside the top 10, it will be 11th place overall for Andy Graham and Gavin Collins now. 4th place in Class 6 and enjoying the slippery stages in that Subaru. Stuart Gilks and Michael Boynes would remain 4th in the class, but they would lose a couple of places on the overall results, but that could be put down to a big moment on the grass in this loop. Alistair Hutchinson and John Dykes, meanwhile, managed to gain themselves a place in the class in this loop, moving up to take 3rd in the class, 15th on the leaderboard. That does, though, mean that Mike English and Andy Robinson slip down the results a little into 4th, struggling to get the power down on the still slippery stages, even with attempts at different tyres each time out. No change for Darren and Sue Underwood, though, in this loop, as they keep hold of the lead by 27 seconds now. But they were still getting their fair share of hold-ups on the stage. Tim Simpson and Gary Green move up the results a little to take 5th in Class 4 now, happy with how things were going after a decent start in the slippery stages this morning. And Joe Cunningham and Mark Fowler were certainly not having any problems. They extend the lead in Class 2, but only by 3 seconds, trying to gain as much grip as possible with the tyre combinations on the Corsa. And plenty of change in Class 6 as well, as John Griffiths and Nigel Wetton step up to take 5th in the class now, 40 seconds back from Andy Graham up ahead. Don Booth and Carl Swales were still struggling with the grip. They keep hold of 2nd place in Class 3, but they were losing a little time to Underwood ahead. Justin Lawson and Paul Hargreaves have a good couple of stages, moving up to take 2nd in Class 2. Although Justin did confess that he was expecting it to be a lot less work than it was out here at Cadwell. Paul Sheard and Dan Simcock were fighting their way up the Class 3 results, or they would be if it wasn't for a bit of an off on Stage 3. They end this loop with 3rd in the class, just 4 seconds back from 2nd. For Ken Sturdy and Richard Wood, frustratingly, they would move down to 3rd place in Class 2 with that move up for Lawson. They were giving it all they had in the second Nova, though, and they didn't really have much left in reserve. A bit of a spin wouldn't help the times for Tim Gray and Wayne Ward. They remain 4th place in Class 3, but a few seconds further back from that podium position. And it would still be looking like a good run for Roy Jarvis and Adam Milner. 5th in Class 3, and still getting back into it after such a long time out of the car. Outside of the podium places in Class 2, the gap would be a little bigger, with Tim Cross and Samantha Lester lying 4th in the class after that loss of Alan Kitson. So that means that it's a change to 5th in Class 2, as Stephen Barnby and Michael Woodcock step up to take that position, 27 seconds back from Cross. And there will be no change in Class 1, with Chris Pearson and Paul Gribben continuing to lead the way there. With Robert Kennedy and Katie Bates still lying 2nd in the class, 31 seconds back from the leaders. On to the juniors, and there will be a bit of a fight going on now. It will still be the lead for Zach Hughes and Chris Evans, though, increasing that ever so slightly to 9 seconds now. No change to 2nd. Tom Delaney and Joe Crittenden were still trying to chase down the leaders, keeping them close, but not able to take any more time yet. There would be, though, change in 3rd, as Charlie Barlow and Tom Hutchings gain some speed and move up to that place from their earlier 5th. This move means it's a change to 4th for Will Butler and Tom Wood, dropping the position, but still only 8 seconds back from our new champions. And change in 5th too, as we see James Hall and Simon Bradley move up to take that position at the loss of Tom Williams to 6th. So 4 stages down, and there is no change at the top, but the battle is still very close.
Junior rallying in the UK is getting bigger and bigger. There are more routes into this sport than there ever were. And here at the Cadwell Park stages, there's a chance for the junior competitors to go on the same stages as the senior rally drivers and get a feel for what they might move on to when they finish their junior exploits. Joe Taylor, co-driving for Alex Holiday, you can see backing up behind me. I started my rallying career alongside Joe in the F1000 Championship, and now he's out giving something back and co-driving for the juniors here at Cadwell Park. We'll catch up with some of the faces that you might recognise from the Junior Championship now, but I'll just have a quick word with Joe. Joe, it seems a while since I started my rallying with you in that F1000 Micra. In fact, this is the actual car.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's certainly different from when me and you were out, and probably driven quicker than when me and you were out. But
Bouncing around the old Armco at Millbrook when they used to use that back in the day.
yeah, it was certainly fun. Certainly, our scrapyard was low on micro bumpers, put it that way.
How's Alex doing today?
He's doing all right. Yeah, we've had a few other kisses with Armco. This car seems to be magnetised towards Armcos, I think. But
of course, you've gone on from the F1000. You've driven Rally GB. You've driven in all sorts of cars since then, and now you're giving something back and helping these guys to move through.
yeah, it's great to see Alex progress. So I mean, this is my third rally with Alex, and it's just improving it on every event, and it's great to, like I say, give something back to the motorsport community.
Can't believe he's still got that centre console in.
My centre console alone, there's no expense spared in that, Paul.
Joe Taylor in with Alex Holliday here, and they're going out now for the second half of the rally at the Cadwell Park stages. Let's have a word with our junior champions, Charlie Barlow and Tom Hutchins, another man who I know very well, who's co-driven for me in the past and was also the best man at my wedding. Okay, so I caught up with Joe Taylor, who I started my rallying career off sat alongside in one of these F1000 micros, in fact the one that he's in with Alex Holliday here at Cadwell Park. Another man that's part of my own rally story is Tom Hutchins, who is our co-driver junior champion this year. Tom, you're in with Charlie Barlow. It's been a bit of a ride for you this year.
Oh yeah, we've had a couple of moments along the way, but Charlie's skill and speed has kept us on the straight and narrow, and luckily enough, you know, we've had 6 wins from 6 starts and pushing on for a 7th today, so fingers crossed we can do it.
And have you hit as many cones as when you and I used to do rallies together?
No.
There were quite some cone hitting moments, weren't there? If we just bring Charlie in, our junior champion, firstly, congratulations on the title this year.
Thank you.
It must have been a real whistle-stop tour of all these events you've been doing this year. It must have just gone so quickly.
Yeah, it's been a really good season, you know. It's been great to win every rally. We didn't expect it at the start of the season, but you know, we just kept going event by event, and it's been a great season, really.
It must have been a real learning curve for you, but of all the things that perhaps you have learnt this year, what would you say have been the sort of takeaway bits for you going into your next year when you're no longer going to be a junior, but you'll be the reigning junior champion?
It's been, you know, great to get a lot of wet running this year, really, and to feel the car going loose. I'm braking quite a lot this season, so hopefully that'll set us up well next year for the gravel in the BTRDA.
Is that what we can expect to see you both doing? Because obviously Tom's been pushing you along, experienced co-driver alongside, but I saw you out there and you've been sort of left foot braking your way around some of those tight and twisty bits.
Yeah, we'll be giving it some next year. You know, BTRDA mixed surface 1400S, so I'm looking forward to it.
Now this is a feature we're going to put within the show, which is all about how many opportunities there are at the moment, how many routes in to rallying for juniors and seniors alike at the moment, but the junior thing really is gaining momentum, isn't it? And what would you say to somebody who perhaps is trying to put the budget together at the moment? A few tips, a few words of advice for when they first start out, when they get there for the first event?
When you first start out, you know, you sort of use the first year as a learning year, learn all the venues, because that's the key really, because all the stages are so similar. If you know the venue, you can make up such a large amount of time, but you know, the juniors is great for under 17-year-olds to learn such great car control, you know, before they move on to bigger things, BTRDA, Tarmac Championship. It's really worthwhile.
Tom, you're no stranger to sitting alongside a range of people, me included. Be careful what you say, because I've got your best man speech to prepare for January, but he's destined for bigger things, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. I well and truly believe it. Very talented. His commitment and car control is just unbelievable at times. You know,
he took you out in an ex-works Justin Dale 106 Maxi, I believe, last weekend.
Yeah, we had an interesting skid round at Blyton on Tuesday in the ex-Justin Dale car. First test, so hopefully going to use that next Saturday and try and do some damage with it.
We told you. Rally TV brought to you by proper rally people. My rally story started somewhere around here, just like Charlie's, just like Tom's, just like Joe's and Alex's, who we've been hearing from today. Back to the action now at Cadwell Park as round 2 of the Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship continues.
On to the next loop of stages and the last ones in the daylight as well. No change for the leaders, David and Alice Tin. Their advantage growing now to 17 seconds.
The fight continues. Who's got better eyesight?
Well, it's all going to get dark now, isn't it? I've put my night sight on, my night vision glasses, and then we'll go for it.
Bravery may win.
Well, yeah, I think I've got 15 seconds before this stage, and I've got 25 on Ash in the Darien, so yeah, you know, shorter stages the next 2, so less time to lose.
For Johnny Milner and Duncan McMath, there would be a little gearbox issue to deal with, forcing them to switch to a manual change. That may have been the reason for losing the extra 7 seconds, but even without it, they wouldn't still be closing the gap on tin just yet.
Johnny, you need to push. What have you got left?
Oh, well, a little problem with the gearbox. I've had to go into manual shift for the. It played up on the last stage. It's behaved itself this time, but yeah. If we get him, we get him. But we're trying.
It's listening to all those noises, isn't it?
It's good fun. I'm smiling.
Noises you thought you'd forgotten.
It's coming back to me fast.
Ashley Field and Ryan Vickers were still holding on to that podium position at this stage. The grip getting a little better through the day, but still not ideal. 8 seconds back from Milner at this stage with 2 to go.
You're finding your feet out there?
Yeah, it's a bit more grip. It's a bit slippy in places, but yeah, we're a bit of a disadvantage to the four-wheel drive cars, but
that's always going to be the case while you sat down there.
Unless it's dry.
And it's a move up to 4th place in this loop for Graham Bell and Russ Radford, finally settling on a pace they were happy with, even if it was into the second half of the day. They lie 2nd in Class 5 now.
2 more to go, Graham. Happy?
Yeah, very happy, yeah. I think we found the pace now. It's taken us all day, but we've got...
What can you do with 2 more stages?
Pardon?
What can you do with 2 more stages if you found the pace?
Eat a few carrots.
Bell's move up the result means a move down for Stephen and Jack Tilbert. Happy with how things were going, but considering a move onto slicks now for the final 2 stages.
Playing with the gearbox there, problems?
Yeah, no, everything's lovely, no problems at all. Yeah, got back tyres going off a little bit on that one, so it's a question as to whether we go onto slicks now, which is mad for wet night, but who knows.
Spotlights on, see what happens.
Don't like. Bad with night vision, I'm afraid.
James Sharrock and Stuart Fold were unable to take any more places in this loop, only managing to close the gap by a few seconds. But it was a step in the right direction, ready for the final 2 stages.
What can you tell us about those 2, James?
Hotting up now, innit? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we've got our tyres right, cars running right. Feel good. Just trying to reel in 2nd and 3rd on that in Class 6 and Class 5. So
we can expect a charge on the last 2 then?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Like
really
it,
glad giving some. All right.
It will be a similar story for Alan Oldfield and Stephen McNulty. They remain in 7th place, 5th in Class 5, giving it everything they had on the stages and just trying to keep it on the road.
Have you got much more left to give in these last 2?
Well, we're giving it all we've got. I think we're off backwards. We're just trying best we can and just keeping on the road, you know.
Sounds like a good combination. Good luck.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Craig Pennington and Wayne Priest, meanwhile, move on to slicks for this loop. And it didn't do them any harm either. Sadly, it also didn't help much. They remain where they were, 8th overall, 3rd in the class.
Almost home.
Almost, nearly, not quite.
Happy with those 2?
Very happy, yeah. We're on slicks now, so...
Final charge.
That's it, gotta go for it. Need a trophy.
Sadly, this loop sees us lose Martin Hodgson and Tony Jones. They get to the end of stage 6, but retire at the finish line. This means that it's a move into 9th for Mike Bayliss and Peter Dawson, just inside the top 10 and in 6th place in Class 5 too.
Everything running okay?
The radio's set, the T's coming on later.
Okay.
Yes, everything's fine. The air conditioning's working well. Everything's fine.
You told us last time you were quite happy about the dark. Still stands?
Yes. Yes, where have we got to go? Could you come and help me?
That's his job.
Have you got a stick?
No, that's his job.
A white stick?
And rounding out our top 10 now are Roger Moran and Joy Hoyle. A big spin in this loop would give them a big scare, but they reach the end of the stage in the top 10 and in 7th in that class.
Yeah, we had a big spin on that one, 5th gear, and we were still 2 seconds quicker than the previous stage. So, good. It was good.
2 more left, Roger. What you got left?
I don't know. I haven't got much left, I don't think. No, not on that.
Outside the top 10, it will be 11th overall for Andy Graham and Gavin Collins. 4th place in Class 6 and just 17 seconds back from Moran. For Stuart Gilks and Michael Boynes, it will be 1st in Class 4, following the loss of Hodgson, of course. ending this loop with 13th place on the leaderboard, happy with their pace. Darren and Sue Underwood continued their good run in the lead of Class 3. 54 seconds of an advantage now, and glad to be back in the Nova. Looking forward to the night stages to come. It's all changed for Alistair Hutchinson and John Dykes. Retirement ahead means they jump into second in the class, 23 seconds back from the lead, and confident going into the final stages. Mike English and Andy Robinson were still struggling with the grip. Unable to get the power down fully, they remain behind Hutchinson in the class, which of course means a move to third. Peter Gunson and Jonathan Haynes move up the results now. 4th place in Class 4 and looking to keep up the good pace into the final 2 stages of the rally. Still no change for Joe Cunningham and Mark Fowler, still showing that pace as well. Really pushing the car on the stages, leading the way in Class 2, 18 seconds the advantage now. Stuart Ramby and Ian Bass move up to take 5th in Class 4 now. Happy with their pace and still feeling like they had some more to give in the final stages of the rally. 20th on the leaderboard for now. And it will be 25th overall for John Griffiths and Nigel Wetton. 5th in Class 6, even if they were hitting a few things along the way. The times were getting better and better for Paul Sheard and Dan Simcock. The circuit running in the direction they were used to for racing. They move up to 2nd in Class 3 now with 2 stages remaining. It would still be a good run for Justin Lawson and Paul Hargreaves. They remain in 2nd place in Class 2, but now the challenge will begin. Their first night stage and first time running with lamp pods on the car too. For Don Booth and Carl Swales, it will be a drop to 3rd in Class 3. Still on the pace, but just unable to keep their 2nd place from before. One of 2 army teams over from Germany to compete here this weekend. We spoke to Jade Pavley last time out at Alton Park, you may remember, and this weekend was going well for her and Sarah Edwards. They reached the end of stage 6 in 29th place overall, just outside the top places in the class with 6th in Class 6. No problems for Ken Sturdy and Richard Wood, but they were just unable to take back that 2nd position. They remain 3rd in Class 2 at this stage, heading into the night stages at Cadwell. Would that change things for the pair? There've been no changes so far for Tim Gray and Wayne Ward in these stages. Happy with everything on the car though now, and lying 4th in Class 3. And 5th in that class would still be Roy Jarvis and Adam Milner. A great return to the sport so far. No change in the bottom of Class 2, with Tim Cross and Samantha Lester remaining 4th in the class at the end of Stage 6. And it would still be 5th for Stephen Barmby and Michael Wood, 40 seconds behind Cross. The battle for Class 1 wouldn't change either, with Chris Pearson and Paul Gribben continuing to lead the way there. The gap, though, in that class getting bigger as the day went on, as Robert Kennedy and Katie Bates suffer a little, dropping right down to 61st overall. So at the end of Stage 6, the results don't change much at the top. The finish certainly going to be a close one here at round 2. Just before we head into the final stages here at Cadwell, here's a look at the juniors results. And it will be a move back to 5th for Tom Williams and Rob Gillam in the final stages. No change for Will Butler and Tom Wood. They remain in 4th place for the afternoon, and that's where they would finish. No more places gained after that push earlier for Charlie Barlow and Tom Hutchings. They finished on the final step of the podium, but of course, the championship was already theirs. And for Tom Delaney and Joe Crittenden, there will be nothing they could do to take victory. They do, though, hold off any challenge from behind to take 2nd place. But that means it's the win this weekend for Zach Hughes and Chris Evans, a lead that they'd held all day, and a well-deserved victory on the first event here at Cadwell for the juniors.
Zach, Chris, winners of the junior round here at Cadwell. What a hard-fought day.
Yeah, it was. It's been very good. Slippy in the morning, we managed to get an advantage early on, and held it all day. It's been really good.
Hard work.
Yeah, it's been. Yeah, they've been keeping me honest, so yeah, it's been good.
Chris, sitting in with these guys, they're getting quicker and quicker, aren't they, these days?
Yeah, they're getting very quick. It's a pity we couldn't do the hula loops like everybody else to test our times against everybody else, but they're really on it, as hard as you could really go in these sort of cars.
Still good experience to be out there fighting with the seniors in the same rally. Gives you an idea, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And, I think it's a fabulous championship. Hope it goes from strength to strength.
What's next for Zach?
Next season. Yeah, I'm still in juniors next year, so I think we've just confirmed second in the championship, so we'll try and go one better next year.
Congratulations, that sounds like something to nail your colours to. Good luck.
Thank you. Cheers a lot.
2 more stages left here at Cadwell Park. As you can see, it's lights on and it'll be spotlights on for the next 2 as well. The battles continue throughout the field. Let's see what happens.
On to the final stages of the rally then, set in the dark. It's lamp pods on, but not much would change on the results. The biggest change, in fact, will be in Class 2. Joe Cunningham and Mark Fowler don't appear out of the final stage finish, retiring in the final few miles of the rally and handing the class victory this weekend to Justin Lawson and Paul Hargreaves. And there will be a small change in Class 3 as well, as James Sharrock and Stuart Folds take 3rd place in that class over Stephen and Jack Tilburn. At the top, there will be absolutely no change at all. David and Alice Tin managing to take the victory, still maintaining that 17-second advantage over Johnny Milner and Duncan McMahon. So before we chat to some of our winners this weekend, here's a reminder of the final results here at Cadwell, round 2 of the Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship.
David, Alice, fantastic result, and against such competition.
Over the moon, yeah. It's made up for 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago at Donington when the engine went bang on the last stage, 30 seconds in front. I've got to thank all the lads, thank Mellors Elliott Motorsport, not but least my daughter, who's done a fantastic job. Can't tell you how proud I am to be able to sit in the car with my daughter and enjoy my passion. It's
and
fantastic.
You know what? You guys have got a great family story to tell from this event. One of my rally heroes chasing you down as well until the very last. It must have been quite an exciting day.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I always do when I'm with Dad, especially. Yeah.
So today he's driven exceptionally well to get that result?
Yeah, he always does, yeah. At least the car made it to the end today.
Absolutely that, and the team's all waiting for you as well. So, what does this hold for you for the rest of the championship?
Well, we're going to do Rockingham because we won Rockingham last year, and then we'll really take it from there. And if we carry on in the mode we are doing, well, we may do a few more rounds. Never know.
Congratulations, winners of round 2.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Johnny, Duncan, what a day. And given the competition that you've had, and these guys are fighting hard, good result.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. I mean, we tried to take it to him. We had a couple of problems, a little bit rusty, but no excuses. He has driven very well. In fact, they've all driven very well around me. So, yeah, we've knocked some dust off, blown some cobwebs out, but thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's what it's all about. We're smiling.
Ashley, Ryan, what a day, what a result.
Yeah, it's been a good day. I mean, it started off slippy, and we had a spin in the penultimate stage, so we lost a bit of time there, but I'm happy with 3rd, I think.
Ryan, it's easy to find excuses when you're in a 2-wheel drive car or on wet tarmac. It's a winter championship, of course, against these 4-wheel drive cars, but 3rd place, given the competition today, you must be pretty happy with.
Not bad. I mean, the drier it got, the quicker it got, and if it went for that spin on the second to last stage, it would have been a bit closer. But overall, I think 3rd's a fair result.
You knew, Ashley, bringing this car out in this championship over winter, you might have to battle with the conditions somewhat. So you were obviously prepared to do that, and you're accepting the consequences. But I think 3rd place is quite a good consequence.
Yeah, I think we're pleased with 3rd. It's good, and it gives us that chance to work on the car in the wet, damp conditions. And if we can make it work in that, then it's going to be even better in the dry. So it bodes well for when we actually get a dry rally.
And you know what? It is going to be changeable throughout the season because it's a new championship, different people do different rounds, so consistency could just be key.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, we did the first round, so I'm not sure. Yeah, we might be leading the championship now, which would be quite good. So we're just going to the next round and see if we can maintain that. So,
well done, guys. Great result.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Well, somewhat unexpected to be here as winners, but you've been fighting so hard all day. What a battle.
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. I think we'd gone into the last stage consolidating 2nd place, to be honest with you.
And when we saw Joe off, unfortunately, it sort of changed our attitude on the stage, to be honest with you, just to try and get through, but still wanting to push. But I have to say it's been a fabulous day. Great championship to be part of, to be fair. Something totally different for me and Paul, so we've had a great time.
And we'll see you at Rockingham, I understand, next as well.
Yep, definitely, we'll be there.
Do you know what? It was unfortunate for Joe, but you guys have been there yourselves. You know, when you're fighting for a rally victory, sometimes it doesn't go your way, but in this case, it's gone your way.
It has gone our way. You know, normally it's us that's off or us that loses the championship, but this time it's gone our way and we'll take that. It's good.
Do you know what? You're going to round 3 actually fighting for a championship. You never knew how this round would go.
No, so we're delighted. I think we might start taking a bit serious now.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Darren, Sue, to come away with a class result today is a great result, isn't it?
Yeah, we had a bit of a shock on the last one. Sierra round there, he wanted to go right, but he went right out to the left, so we had to pass him on the grass, otherwise we'd have gone wrong. Right. So it could have been all over, but we got away with that, so that's good.
It's a bit of an emotional ending, but it was all good.
Yeah, well, that's the trouble. You never know until you actually get over that finish line. It can still slightly go wrong. So no, it was good though. Like we've had good. It's been nice to be back out in the Nova, I must admit. So no, we've been quite pleased with that. So yeah, it's a good day. Good day.
A class result under your belt. What does this mean for the championship? Can we expect to see you at Rockingham?
Yeah, crack on. Entry's in.
Yeah, we have got an entry. So yeah, hopefully we should be there. So yeah, see where it goes.
So have I. I'll see you there.
Okay, tidy. Thanks, Paul.
Beers are on you.
Well, competition doesn't come much tougher than a 2-time British Rally champion, Johnny Milner, back in that Corolla and doing the business. But doing much more business today was David and Alice Tin in that Proton. What a fantastic result for them at round 2. I just can't wait for round 3. Action throughout the field, and what a battle we've seen today. We'll see you at Rockingham. For now, thanks for watching Special Stage.
Five right plus in and 6 right continues over clear.